broadcast community. It is MJ Callaway here with your next episode of the Bounce Up broadcast. And today we have something a little bit different. It will be me going solo. And there's a reason why. I had a question this past week from a CEO that I thought would be a great topic and with some suggestions for today's episode. So, as many of you know, last week my new book, 13 Simple Client Follow Up Strategies, kicked off. It released last Wednesday, so a little more than a week ago. And in a conversation towards the end of the week, a CEO, past client of mine who is now a fairly good friend, had said, MJ, with all the celebrities and the TV reality stars and the athletes publishing books, is there really room for a small business owner to have a book published and make a difference? And it was a great question. Coming from a traditional background, some of you know I have been published traditionally too. I had two books that were published with Warner Books a number of years ago. And since then, I have also self-published. But some of you don't know, I started as a self-published author, and then I went traditional, and then I bounced to self-publishing again. Well, the thing with celebrities and TV stars and athletes, they are taking the few spots that publishers have, traditional publishers, away from mid-list authors, which I was considered a mid-list author. And because of that, there isn't as much room in the traditional publishing as there once was before all of these celebrities and so forth have taken those spots. And the thing for mid-list authors like myself and probably you, if our book is not staying, if people are not buying it consistently on a regular basis, then that book will only stay on the shelf for about 6 weeks. And you can look that up. I've done the research on it, and from my background know that. But it will, and then they'll take it out of print. The thing with being self-published is you can keep your book in print as long as you want. So for today, there's 5 tips that I would like to share, or 5 lessons that I've learned from my book launch and past book launches. And I have made a little post-it note with the the lesson on it so I don't forget. Okay, so the first one is strategy, and that's what I've been talking about. So it is to have a strategy. What is the reason you are having this book published? What is the reason that you want it? So having a strategy. So for me, going the self-publishing route made a difference, and having a book launch made a difference because I am using this for my business. So I am not concerned about it being, reviewed in USA Today or any of those publications. This is for my book, and I'm helping my clients. The other strategy came from there is a gap. And if you've read the opening of my book, the reason why I published this one is because there is a gap out there. One of an attendee from one of my conferences said, MJ, how can I follow up without saying follow up or checking in? So the strategy is filling the gap in my business and for others who have not been able to find a way to follow up that is creative and keeps customers engaged. So strategy, having a strategy, that is very important. It's very important too for the book launch. What do you want to get out of it? So that is number 2. Number 2 is the target. What target do you want to hit? For me, my target was filling the gap. It was also having the book available for paperback for those who like the hard copy, wanted to write in it. And then it was also having the Kindle, the ebook version, for those of you who had wanted to put it on your phone or your iPad as a quick reference to go through. The other target that I will create is having it as an audio book. And this comes from my friend and colleague, Ben, who suggested that. So that will be next. That will be my next target. But having a target, my target was having that book available as a tool for my clients and for also conference attendees who had wanted to purchase it. All right, the next one is ask. Can you see that? Ask. We don't always ask for help or ask for the sale. And I know that from being in sales, and I know that from working with my clients. So asking, and the thing is, there's a lot of research that women don't ask as often as men do. We need to ask. We need to ask for the sale. But in this case, the lesson I learned from the book launch is asking for help when it comes to launching the book. So asking for help, and I did ask for help. I created, which is next on my list, number 4, community. So you can call it community, you can call it your village. I call it my power team. And in this case, it was my launch team. I had 7 colleagues / friends who helped me. They were early readers. They gave a testimony. One gave the foreword for the book, but they also helped me with reviews. And last week, they were part of my Bounce Up broadcast. But they were able to give me feedback on the 13 strategies, what they liked about the strategies, how they felt they could use it. And they were putting it into play before the book came out. So I had great feedback before the book launch. So the 4th lesson was build that community, build that power team, that inner circle of people that can help you. And then that leads me to the 5th one that I learned from lesson from the book launch is expectations. Your expectations as an author, or it can even be a product. All of these 5 lessons, because I'm giving you 5, these 5 lessons you can use as a product launch too, to take back, and you can also use them in everyday life in your business. So the 5th one is expectations. And this is a key one in sales that I learned from sales. What are my expectations from my clients? And what are my clients' expectations from me? So when it came to the book launch, what were the expectations my book launch team had from me, and what were my expectations I had for them? And then also, what would their expectations be from the book? And that is where that book launch team came into place, because I was able to pull what expectations they wanted from reading the book, what they wanted out of the book, the end result, and what they hoped to get from reading the book and putting those 13 strategies into place. So think about the expectations, but taking that back to everyday life. When we're in business, we do have our own expectations. We have the expectations of our team, who we're working with, our staff, our employees, and also those who we are serving, what their expectations are from us. So those are the 5 strategies or the 5 lessons that I learned. And I'll go back. And the first one, let me pull my Post-it notes, strategy. So the strategy you need to have from it. And then the second one was target. I'm pulling them out of order here. Try not to. The third one was ask. The 4th is community. And then the 5th one was expectations. So those were my 5 lessons from my book launch of 13 simple client follow-up strategies. This is MJ Callaway. Now, if you liked this video, please go ahead and share it with your own community, with your power team, with your village, whatever you call it. Also, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel, MJ Callaway. Now, if you're looking for more free resources, Check out my website, MJ Callaway, free downloads. There's a bunch of free downloads there, from communication to sales strategies to helping you flip negative into positive. So until next time, this is MJ Callaway signing out. And remember to make it a bounce up day. Until next time, I am going to say goodbye.